Hi, it's Nicki here, and I'm glad you could join me for another Ask an Author. Today I thought I would just talk briefly about what I consider to be the life or the journey of a story. So the stages in which you need to create your book and the stages you'll pass through as you're getting it from that first idea to publication. So obviously you have your initial idea. That's your first stage, that spark of inspiration that we all need to kick things off. Then we'll be moving into the planning stage. Now, how much of this you do is going to depend on what sort of writer you are. I'm a bit more of a pantser. I do a little bit of character development planning, but I don't do a huge amount of story planning except for a few rough notes. But other people like to really plan out scene by scene. So that will be your second step. Then comes the first draft. This is the point where you're just telling yourself the story, really, and that's particularly true if you're more of a pantster, because you don't know the story yet, you haven't worked it out, and you just see where the characters and the plot take you. So once you've got your first draft, that's your third stage completed, and we move into stage 4, which is your editing stage. For me, I like to do a series of edits. For a short story, I usually do 2 rounds of edits and a proofread. But for a novella or novel, I will do probably 3 solid rounds of edits before I do the final proofread. And at this point, you've got the decision to make if you haven't already decided, and that's whether you're going to self-pub or go a traditional route. Obviously, if you're self-pubbing, this is the point when you'll start sending your book out for professional edits, doing your cover, and following all the things that I've mentioned in my previous video on the different stages of self-publishing. But if you're traditionally publishing, this is the point where you'll be doing your preparation to send it off to a publisher. Now, this will again depend on the publisher requirements, but essentially you're probably going to need to write a synopsis. You're going to need to write possibly a compelling letter or little spiel introducing your book to the publisher, depending on the manner in which you have to submit based on their guidelines. And you're going to be sending it off. And this is probably the hardest part because you're going to have to wait. Some publishers aren't too bad and you hear in a few weeks, but I mean in general I think most of them are, say, 8 to 12 weeks. So that's potentially 3 months that you have to bite your nails and wait. But finally you'll hear back and hopefully it'll be a yes. And at that stage, that's where, for me it's where the fun begins, but for some people I know that it's a little bit nerve-wracking when you go through the publisher's editing stage. I usually get on okay with this because being an editor myself, my manuscripts are usually reasonably clean, so my edits tend to be pretty light and not too much hassle, you know, whiz them out as soon as I get them and it's all finished. But I enjoy the stage. It's nice to get someone else's opinion on your work for the first time, and just make sure that it's coming across to them the way that it came across to you. At this point we also have the fun of cover design, and that's true whether you're self-publishing or traditionally publishing. I really enjoy cover design. It's always interesting to see how the artist is going to interpret your book based on the scant information they usually receive of it. You know, usually they just get a brief synopsis or a blurb and maybe a few hints from you if the publisher's asked you to fill out a cover request form. But the cover art's always the great moment. Then you'll go through the formatting and eventually we'll reach the end and your book is ready and you've got the finished product in your hands, either literally if it's a print book or metaphorically if you've been sent ebook files. And then the book's released, and this is the point when the promotion, you'd hopefully have already kicked off a bit of promotion beforehand, but the promotion will really ramp up a level, if you like. So those are the stages through which you'll pass as you get your book from idea to publication. If anyone's got any comments or queries regarding this video, pop them below for me and I'll do my best to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to see you all again next month with a new video. Bye for now.